Hi there, Adam from Interplay here, and in this video I want to give you an overview of managing teams, libraries and components in Interplay. Design system teams can use Interplay to manage their code libraries and publish them out to designers and developers to use in Figma and Sketch. Let's look at how you would do this in Interplay. The owner of the account would first sign up for Interplay access and create a new team in Interplay. A team is effectively a container that controls security for everything you put in it. So here I have signed up and created a team called Demo, and the first thing I'm going to put in it is a code library called React-Strap. So I'll click Create New Library and call it React-Strap. This takes me to a checklist for importing my code library. We've created a detailed video that walks through the steps of importing the React-Strap code using the Interplay CLI. So in this video, I'll click Import and then skip to the point where the code library has just been imported for the first time. Okay, so I'm a design system owner, the import has run, and I am ready to review my imported components, so I click Review. This takes me to the component overview for our imported code library, where we can see what the import found in our code. I can click on each component to see the examples that the import process found for that component. So in this case, the import found 4 different instances of breadcrumb, for example, and 6 different instances of button. We'll make some changes in a minute, but for now I just want to publish my library as it is out to Figma. So I click Home to return to my import checklist. And here I click Publish. I'm publishing a version of my library, so I'll call it Release 1 and default import of React-Strap. Clicking Publish here makes it available to our Design Tools plugins. The same component configuration works in Figma, Sketch and Interplay, so we only need to maintain our design system once. Now that I've published my library, I can log into the Figma plugin to have a look. Here in the Figma plugin we can see all the component examples that we published. We can drag them onto the Figma canvas and start working with them. We have other more detailed videos about using the Figma plugin. I just want to show you this because seeing the components as a user helps you understand how the admin side works. Back in Interplay, we were the design system owners, curating the design system and publishing out examples of buttons to our users. Here in the Figma plugin, we're a user consuming the component configuration that was published. We use it as a starting point. I can add button to my canvas and customize it by changing the React code properties. For example, I can make this a danger button by changing the color property to danger. This is exactly the same color property that the developer uses to do this, which transforms our workflow as our designers and developers are now speaking the same component language. As a designer, I can use the power of all the design system decisions that have already been baked into the code, and as a developer, instead of redlined handoff, the developers get a nice clean component config like this JSX. But there are some properties here that are not relevant to me as a designer, so it'd be great if the system could guide me in using this component. So let's look at button as the owner back in Interplay. We can see all the button properties that the import found in the source code. Let's hide some of them. And for the color property, instead of our users having to know that danger is an option, let's create a valid set they can choose from. We're adding these values here to move quickly, but when your development team has time, we actually recommend adding them as type information into your component code, and then Interplay automatically picks them up from there too. Now let's give some guidance on how the color property should be used. The changes we've made here are overrides of the button properties. We can run the code import again and again, and these overrides will be reapplied each time. So Interplay automatically keeps up to date with your code changes while preserving your customizations. Let's tidy up the button examples some more by giving the examples some names. And let's hide this notification example from the plugin. And finally, let's create a danger button example. We can create examples from both the code repo and online here in Interplay. In doing this, we get to use our new configuration of the color property. Right, button is looking good now, so let's publish our changes. We've just published a new release, so let's have a look at the version history of our library. Here we can see how all the changes we made have been combined into a release. By doing this, Interplay allows you to batch up multiple code commits and configuration changes and communicate them to your designers. So let's go back to Figma. We're a design system user again now, and we can see that an update's been published. And let's try using the button component again. We add it onto the canvas, and this time we only see a subset of the code properties, and we have a nice select drop-down of allowed colors to guide us on how to use the component. So we've published our design system and it's available in the Figma and Sketch plugins. All we need to do now is roll it out to our users, and we do this by adding them to our team in Interplay. Click on the team at the top left and go to the People tab. Click the Invite People button, add their email details and set their level of access. Each team has its own billing account with Interplay, so team members added here are automatically added onto your subscription plan without you needing to manage it separately. So when they accept your email invitation, they will immediately be able to start working with your team's design system code in Figma and Sketch. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, please do let us know if you have any questions at support@interplayapp.com.